The glittering world of celebrity culture has always been a source of endless fascination, a realm where the ordinary rules of life seem suspended and replaced by unimaginable luxury, constant media attention, and a lifestyle that most people can only dream of witnessing from afar. For decades, the public has watched the lives of the rich and famous unfold on television screens, social media feeds, and the pages of glossy magazines, captivated by the apparent perfection of their existence. We see the red carpets, the designer wardrobes, the sprawling mansions, and the effortless travel to exotic destinations, all of which contribute to an aura of untouchable privilege. This intense public interest is not merely about the glamour itself, but about the profound curiosity regarding how these extraordinary circumstances shape the human experience behind closed doors. When cameras stop rolling and the public appearances end, these high-profile individuals face the same fundamental human responsibilities as everyone else, yet they must navigate them within an environment of vast material abundance. Among these responsibilities, none is more complex, scrutinized, or deeply personal than the art of parenting, a challenge that becomes uniquely magnified when millions of dollars and global fame enter the equation. Raising children in the modern era is already a daunting task filled with conflicting advice, societal pressures, and constant self-doubt. But doing so under the relentless glare of the spotlight introduces an entirely different set of complications that can quickly turn any private family decision into a matter of intense public debate. The intersection of wealth and child-rearing has become one of the most polarizing topics in contemporary culture, as society grapples with questions about privilege, entitlement, and the true meaning of success. Every choice a celebrity parent makes is subject to immediate evaluation by an audience that is often quick to judge, parsing every interview and social media post for signs of either admirable wisdom or profound disconnection from reality. This cultural fascination deepens significantly when a well-known figure decides to pull back the curtain and share their specific philosophy on how to raise grounded, responsible individuals in an environment that is anything but ordinary. It raises the question of whether it is truly possible to instill traditional values of hard work, humility, and financial responsibility in children who have known nothing but comfort and security since the day they were born. As the public watches these famous families navigate the complexities of growth and maturity, a fascinating dialogue emerges about the boundaries of parental guidance and the methods used to prepare the next generation for the real world. This ongoing conversation took a dramatic and unexpected turn recently when a prominent television personality and successful entrepreneur decided to open up about her household rules, sparking a massive wave of discussion that quickly spread across various online platforms and communities. Her candid revelations about the strict boundaries she enforces with her growing children immediately caught the attention of both fans and critics alike, igniting a fiery debate that touches on the very core of modern parenting philosophies. The ensuing discussion has highlighted a deep divide in how people view the responsibilities of wealthy parents, with some praising her approach as a necessary measure to prevent entitlement, while others view it as an unnecessary and alienating form of discipline. To fully understand the impact of this unfolding story and to explore the fascinating dynamics of family life in the public eye, we invite you to hit the subscribe button and join our community as we dive deep into the world of celebrity culture, human behavior, and the trending stories that shape our collective conversation. By subscribing, you will never miss an update on this rapidly evolving narrative and the many other captivating accounts we bring to light, ensuring you remain at the forefront of the discussions that matter most in today's fast-paced media landscape. The dialogue surrounding this particular celebrity mother offers a rare and insightful window into the hidden challenges of privilege, forcing us to re-examine our own beliefs about family, money, and the lessons we pass down to the next generation. As we begin to peel back the layers of this fascinating controversy, we are reminded that behind the headlines and the public outcries lie real human relationships, complex emotional dynamics, and a mother trying to navigate the uncertain waters of parenthood in the most public way imaginable, setting the stage for a deeper exploration of the events that have captured the internet's attention. The central figure at the heart of this exploding cultural conversation is Kristin Cavallari, a household name who first captured the world's attention as a teenager on the groundbreaking reality television series Laguna Beach, before solidifying her status as a pop culture icon on its spin-off show, The Hills. Over the years, she has successfully transitioned from a young reality star into a highly accomplished entrepreneur, author, and fashion designer, building a massive lifestyle empire and accumulating a reported net worth of approximately $30 million. Alongside her highly visible career, her personal life has also been a subject of intense media interest, particularly her high-profile marriage and subsequent divorce from former professional football player Jay Cutler, with whom she shares 3 children, 13-year-old Camden, 12-year-old Jackson, and 10-year-old Sailor, managing a massive business empire while co-parenting 3 preteens and teenagers would be challenging for anyone. But doing so with a multi-million-dollar fortune introduces a very specific set of parental anxieties that Cavallari recently decided to address publicly. During a deeply candid appearance on the popular lifestyle and business podcast Aspire with Emma Grede, she opened up about the heavy burden of responsibility she feels regarding the upbringing of her children, explicitly stating that she is hyper-aware of the fact that they are growing up in an incredibly fortunate and protected situation. Recognizing that her wealth could easily insulate her children from the harsh realities of the world and foster an artificial sense of entitlement, Cavallari revealed that she has intentionally implemented a series of strict, unconventional household boundaries designed to teach them the true value of a dollar. The most striking and controversial example of these boundaries involves the family's travel arrangements, with the entrepreneur casually explaining that while she flies in the luxurious comfort of first class, her 3 young children are strictly relegated to the economy cabin, flying coach right alongside regular travelers. This specific rule, she explained to the podcast host, was something she intentionally put into practice the moment her children became old enough to handle themselves during flights, noting with a laugh that she cheerfully tells them goodbye and wishes them fun in the back of the plane before heading to her own premium seat. Cavallari strongly defended this practice by asserting that her children will be perfectly fine, that the experience is genuinely good for their personal development, and that it is precisely these kinds of small, consistent parental choices that ultimately make a massive positive difference in a child's character over the long run. To reinforce this lesson of financial independence, she further emphasized that her children do not simply receive whatever material objects they desire, and if they want something extra, they are required to roll up their sleeves and work hard to earn the money themselves. She proudly shared an example from the previous summer when both of her sons, despite their mother's immense fortune, created their own localized micro-businesses, with one boy spending his summer days washing neighbors' windows and the other scrubbing out dirty garbage cans to earn personal spending money. The underlying message that Cavallari wants to hammer home to her offspring is a stark and unyielding baseline reality, which she summarized perfectly with the firm reminder that the $30 million fortune belongs entirely to her, and it is not, under any circumstances, their money. While she acknowledged in the interview that parenting is an entirely subjective journey with absolutely no one-size-fits-all methodology, her incredibly blunt philosophy on family dynamics and wealth separation immediately hit a massive nerve across the internet, triggering an instantaneous and highly critical backlash. The digital world exploded with opinion pieces, social media debates, and viral threads as everyday people scrambled to dissect the ethics, psychology, and practical implications of a wealthy mother intentionally separating herself from her children in such a public and stratified manner. On major community platforms like Reddit, users did not hold back their absolute bewilderment and anger, with one highly upvoted comment stating that they would never understand the bizarre logic behind punishing children for a wealth they did not ask to be born into, comparing it to forcing kids to sleep outside in a tent because they haven't purchased their own house. Critics fiercely argued that the primary purpose of working hard and achieving financial success as a parent should be to provide your own children with the absolute best possible life experiences, rather than intentionally withholding comfort from them while enjoying it yourself. The narrative quickly transformed from a simple celebrity interview into a deeply contentious debate about familial duty, emotional security, and the psychological impact of class division within a single household. As the internet backlash intensified, commenters began to question whether Cavallari's travel methods were truly teaching her children humility, or if they were instead fostering a deep-seated sense of rejection and creating an unnecessary caste system within the immediate family unit. Many observers suggested that if a wealthy parent's true objective was to keep their children humble and grounded, The most logical and compassionate solution would be for the parent to sacrifice their own luxury and fly in the economy cabin right alongside them, rather than isolating the children in the back of the aircraft. This growing wave of public skepticism opened up a much larger conversation about the potential emotional toll this separation could take on the children, particularly the youngest daughter, with users expressing deep sadness at the thought of a 10-year-old child sitting alone without her mother's comforting presence nearby during a long flight. The tension surrounding the story continued to build as critics shifted their focus from emotional well-being to the very real and practical safety concerns of leaving 3 preteens completely unsupervised in a crowded airplane cabin, forcing flight attendants and total strangers to essentially manage their behavior. The online community increasingly viewed the situation not as a clever lesson in financial responsibility, but as a potentially problematic abdication of parental supervision that unfairly offloads the responsibility of watching 3 energetic children onto the surrounding passengers. This mounting criticism created an atmosphere of intense scrutiny, with a massive portion of the public concluding that no amount of wealthy parenting theory could ever justify the potential risks and emotional distance created by such an extreme household rule, setting up an even more profound examination of how society defines the boundaries of good parenting. As the digital dust begins to settle over this intense online controversy, the discussion has shifted from basic criticism of lifestyle choices to a much deeper and more terrifying exploration of child safety, parental instincts, and the unpredictable nature of emergency situations. For many parents analyzing Kristin Cavallari's travel arrangements, the true breaking point of the debate lies not in the luxury of first class versus the simplicity of coach, but in the physical separation of a mother from her young children during a vulnerable moment high above the clouds. Commenters across various digital forums began to vividly paint worst-case scenarios, arguing that an airplane cabin is an unpredictable environment where catastrophic events can unfold in a matter of mere seconds. They raised chilling questions about what would happen if the aircraft suddenly experienced severe, violent turbulence, or worse, a rapid decompression event where oxygen masks automatically drop from the ceiling. In those chaotic moments of darkness, loud alarms, and mounting panic, a 10-year-old child sitting rows away from her mother would be left to navigate a terrifying situation completely alone or reliant on the kindness of total strangers who are also fighting for their own survival. The thought of a young girl having to secure her own oxygen mask or navigate an emergency evacuation down an inflatable slide without her mother right beside her to protect, guide, and comfort her was simply unfathomable to a massive portion of the public. This perspective suggests that the fundamental duty of protection in the face of danger should always override any theoretical lessons about financial humility, and that true parenting means standing shoulder to shoulder with your children through whatever turbulence life or aviation might throw your way. Yet, amid the overwhelming sea of condemnation, a small but fiercely articulate group of observers stepped forward to defend Cavallari, offering a much more sympathetic analysis of the unique challenges that come with raising children in a world of absolute privilege. These supporters argued that the public is often far too quick to judge high-profile mothers without ever stopping to consider the incredibly complex and unnatural environment in which these families operate. For a mother with a net worth of $30 million, the threat of raising spoiled, entitled children who grow up to become completely non-functional adults is a very real, tangible, and terrifying danger. In a society where the children of the ultra-wealthy are frequently seen falling victim to the toxic traps of unearned luxury, early indulgence, and a total lack of direction, Cavallari's strict boundaries can be viewed as an act of profound maternal love and foresight. Proponents of this view noted that she is uniquely qualified to understand these specific dangers, having spent her entire adult life navigating the intense pressures, superficialities, and temptations of the entertainment industry from the tender age of 17. Because she knows exactly how easily the glitz and glamour of Hollywood can distort a young person's worldview, she is willing to endure temporary public backlash and the temporary discomfort of her children to ensure they develop the resilience, work ethic, and grit necessary to survive in the real world. From this perspective, forcing her sons to scrub dirty garbage cans and wash windows in the scorching summer heat is not an act of cruelty or financial stinginess, but a brilliant and necessary parental intervention designed to teach them that respect, success, and fulfillment must be earned through sweat and dedication. Rather than inherited through a famous last name, this polarizing debate ultimately exposes a massive, unresolved rift in how modern society views the ultimate purpose of parental success, hard work, and the generational transfer of comfort. On one side of this cultural divide stands the traditional philosophy that the very definition of a parent's labor is to shield their children from the hardships they themselves might have faced, providing them with the absolute highest quality of life, safety, and luxury that their resources can possibly secure. Adherents to this philosophy argue that if a mother has earned the right to enjoy the peaceful luxury of a first-class seat through years of exhausting entrepreneurial dedication, it is only natural and loving that her children should share in that bounty, experiencing the rewards of their family's success together as a unified whole. To intentionally withhold that comfort, they argue, creates a bizarre, artificial class system within the home, potentially fostering deep-seated feelings of resentment, isolation, and inadequacy in children who are forced to watch their own mother indulge in premium experiences while they are left behind. On the other side of the spectrum is the belief that true parental love requires the courage to implement tough love and maintain strict boundaries, recognizing that overindulgence is a form of emotional neglect that ultimately cripples a child's future independence. This philosophy warns that giving children everything they desire simply because you have the financial means to do so robs them of the vital opportunity to experience failure, longing, and the profound satisfaction of achieving a goal through their own independent efforts. As Kristin Cavallari, Camden Jackson, and Saylor continue their journey together under the unrelenting glare of the public eye, their family dynamic remains a fascinating living experiment in the complex architecture of modern wealth and child-rearing. This captivating saga serves as a powerful reminder that no matter how much money, fame, or success an individual manages to accumulate, the foundational challenges of guiding the next generation toward maturity will always remain deeply complicated. Intensely personal and entirely devoid of easy answers, it forces every single one of us to look into the mirror and re-examine our own core beliefs about the delicate balance between providing comfort and instilling character, leaving us to wonder how we would handle the immense responsibility of parenthood if the entire world was watching and analyzing our every move. The conversation sparked by this single podcast interview will undoubtedly continue to echo across the digital landscape for a very long time, as parents everywhere grapple with the timeless question of how to best prepare their children for the long, unpredictable flight of life.